Vikings Nation bombshell, triple threat news that will rock your world. Introduction. What's good, Vikings Nation? Buckle up because I'm about to drop some insane news that's going to send shockwaves through every purple-blooded fan from Minneapolis to Mankato. We're talking about three massive developments that are happening right now. And trust me, this isn't your typical Tuesday morning coffee conversation. This is the kind of stuff that makes you call in sick to work, cancel your dinner plans, and spend the entire day refreshing Twitter like a maniac. Picture this. One of our key offensive weapons is eyeing an exit strategy that could leave us scrambling. Meanwhile, our front office wizards are pulling off some draft day magic that's going to make other teams absolutely furious with envy. And if that wasn't enough to get your heart racing, there's a certain all-pro cornerback who just became available. And guess what? Every major NFL analyst is saying he belongs in purple and gold. But here's the thing, Vikings Nation, I'm not going to spoil everything right away. You know how we do this? We're going to build this story piece by piece, revelation by revelation, until your jaw is on the floor and you're sharing this with every Vikings fan you know. So right now, smash that like button if you're ready for some earth-shattering Vikings news. Drop a comment below telling me how pumped you are for this season. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because Vikings Nation deserves to stick together through all the highs, lows, and incredible plot twists that make us the most passionate fan base in the NFL. The first bombshell involves one of our tight ends, who's apparently ready to test the waters elsewhere. And when I tell you who we're talking about and what this means for our Super Bowl window, you're going to lose your absolute minds. Let's dive in. Here we go, Vikings Nation. The player I was talking about is none other than Josh Oliver. And folks, this news is going to hit you like a Brian Flores blitz package on 3rd and long. According to insider reports that just surfaced, our reliable TE2 is leaning hard toward testing free agency when March 2026 rolls around. That's right, Josh Oliver, the guy who's been our unsung hero in the blocking game, the dude who does all the dirty work that makes our explosive passing attack possible, is apparently ready to see what else is out there. Now, Vikings Nation, I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't Oliver supposed to be part of our long-term plan alongside TJ Hawkinson? Well, that's exactly why this news is so shocking. KSTP's Darren Wolfson dropped this bombshell on SKOR North, and he didn't sugarcoat it one bit. He basically said that unless something changes dramatically, Josh Oliver is going to hit unrestricted free agency, and here's the kicker. Oliver is okay with that scenario. Think about this for a second, Vikings Nation. Oliver has been the perfect complement to Hawkinson. While TJ gets all the flashy catches and red zone targets, Josh Oliver has been out there pancaking linebackers, creating running lanes for Aaron Jones, and giving Sam Darnold and soon JJ McCarthy the protection they need to make those magic throws happen. This guy has logged 44 receptions for 471 yards and 5 touchdowns over 2 seasons. Not eye-popping numbers, but crucial contributions when it mattered most. But here's where it gets interesting. And this is where Kevin O'Connell's offensive genius really shows. Oliver came into the league as a pass-catching specialist with questionable blocking skills. Fast forward to now, and he's become known as one of the most reliable blocking tight ends in the game. That transformation doesn't happen by accident. That's coaching, that's development, and that's exactly the kind of player you don't want walking out the door. The really wild part? Oliver is banking on himself having a monster 2025 season, then cashing in with what could be his biggest contract ever. And honestly, Vikings Nation, can you blame him? The man has moved around the league, found his home in Minnesota, but now he wants to see what he's worth on the open market. It's a business decision that could reshape our entire offensive philosophy. But wait, there's more to this story, and it connects to something even bigger that's about to blow your minds about our draft strategy. Hold on to your horns hats, Vikings Nation, because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you realize that Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Remember how we felt a little light on draft picks heading into 2025? Remember how we traded some of our future capital to get Dallas Turner and worried about our ability to reload the roster? Well, forget all those concerns because our front office is about to pull off some serious draft day magic. We already knew we were getting compensatory picks for losing key free agents. But here's the jaw-dropping development. we might be looking at not just 2, but potentially 3 compensatory selections for the 2026 NFL Draft. That's right, Vikings Nation. We're talking about turning our temporary draft capital shortage into a legitimate advantage. Here's how this wizardry works, and why it's absolutely brilliant. When Sam Darnold signed his massive deal with Seattle, yes, that hurt. But stay with me. That guaranteed us a 3rd-round compensatory pick. When Daniel Jones and his role with Indianapolis gets factored in, we're looking at a 5th-round compensatory selection. But here's the plot twist that nobody saw coming. Trent Sherfield's departure to Denver might just net us a 7th-round compensatory pick. Now I know what you're thinking. A 7th-rounder? Big deal. But let me educate you on something, Vikings Nation. Over the last 30 years, we've found absolute gems in the 7th round. We're talking about Jason Fisk, Matthew Hatchett, Shamar Stephen, Jaron Kearse, Stephen Weatherly, and Ifeadi Odenigbo. And across the entire NFL, 7th-round legends include Tom Brady, yes, that Tom Brady, Marcus Colston, and Julian Edelman. The genius of this situation is that while other teams are struggling to find quality depth, we're potentially looking at 9 total draft picks in 2026. That's a complete 180 from the 4 picks we had entering the 2025 draft. We're talking about a 1st-rounder, a 2nd-rounder, 2 3rd-round picks, including that compensatory selection, 2 5th-round picks, and 3 7th-round selections. This is the kind of draft capital that allows you to be aggressive in trades, to take chances on high-upside players, and to build the kind of depth that championship teams need. While other franchises are counting pennies and making tough decisions, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is setting us up to reload and potentially make some noise in the trade market if the right opportunity presents itself. And speaking of opportunities that might present themselves, there's another story developing that has the entire NFL world talking about one specific player who could be wearing purple and gold very soon. Vikings Nation, what I'm about to tell you is so insane that I had to read it 3 times before I believed it myself. Are you sitting down? Because you need to be sitting down for this. Jaire Alexander, the all-pro cornerback, the guy who's been torching our receivers for years, the player who called Justin Jefferson's legendary performance against Green Bay a fluke and mocked the gritty celebration, is about to become a free agent. And get this, every major NFL analyst is saying the Minnesota Vikings make perfect sense as his landing spot. This is the stuff that Hollywood scripts are made of. Vikings Nation. The Packers just released Jaire Alexander, creating a clean break that nobody saw coming. And suddenly, the entire NFL media world is connecting him to us like it's destiny written in purple ink. Pro Football Focus jumped on this story immediately, with Trevor Sikima saying this would be a top-tier storyline, and pointing out the incredible irony of Alexander potentially joining forces with Justin Jefferson after years of divisional warfare. CBS Sports' Jared Dubin is talking about how Alexander would be an immediate upgrade in our secondary, and how he'd be perfect for Brian Flores' aggressive defensive scheme. Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport is calling it a natural fit, mentioning our $18.5 million in cap space and our ability to pluck yet another Packer off the proverbial scrap heap. But here's the kicker that's going to make you lose your minds. Our own Star Tribune's Jim Suhan is practically endorsing this move. He's talking about how Alexander would immediately solve our cornerback depth issues, how he'd start opposite Isaiah Rodgers with Byron Murphy Jr. in the slot, and how Kevin O'Connell's player-friendly culture could be exactly what Alexander needs to reach his full potential again. Think about this scenario for a hot minute, Vikings Nation. We're talking about adding a 28-year-old all-pro cornerback who's still in his physical prime, who knows our division better than anyone, and who would instantly transform our secondary from a question mark into a strength. Pairing him with Byron Murphy Jr., Harrison Smith, and Josh Metellus under Brian Flores' defensive coordination, that's the kind of defensive backfield that gives opposing quarterbacks nightmares. And here's the beautiful irony that's going to make every Packers fan want to throw their cheeseheads in the trash. Jaire Alexander could be the final piece that helps us win the NFC North and make a serious Super Bowl run, all while wearing the purple and gold he's been battling against for years. The connections make too much sense to ignore. Flores needs reliable defensive backs to run his creative pressure packages. Alexander has posted a 99th percentile coverage grade since 2022. We need cornerback depth. He's an immediate starter who makes everyone around him better. We have the cap space. He's available right now. But Vikings Nation, this is where we come in. Hit that like button if you want to see Jaire Alexander in purple and gold. Drop a comment below telling me what you think about this potential signing. Should we go all in on landing this all-pro talent? Or are you worried about bringing in a player who's had some attitude concerns in Green Bay? The bottom line is this: we're looking at a perfect storm of opportunity. Josh Oliver might be testing free agency, giving us decisions to make about our tight end room. Our draft capital is about to explode with potentially 3 compensatory picks, setting us up for 2026 success. And one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL just became available, with every expert saying he belongs with us. This is the kind of off-season development that can change the trajectory of a franchise. Vikings Nation. We went 14-3 last season and proved we belong in the conversation with the elite teams in the NFL. Now we have the chance to add an all-pro talent who knows exactly what it takes to win in this division. The future is bright in Minneapolis, and if even half of these developments go our way, we're going to be absolutely terrifying in 2025 and beyond. Are you ready for what could be the most exciting chapter in Vikings franchise history? Because I sure am. Skol Vikings. Let's make some noise, Vikings Nation.